Let me show you what I'm looking at on Dogecoin. All right, so we had this uptrend going like this. We're looking at the 4-hour time frame right now, but you could even switch it to the daily time frame, and you can see it as well. You can actually see it a little bit better. So we had support pretty much all in this area. Actually, let's go to the 4-hour. Maybe you could see it better on the 4-hour. So basically, we had support on that trend line, and it looks like we're either faking out right now or we're breaking down. So what I'm either doing, I'm still looking at these Fibonacci retracement levels. That's why I've kept this chart up, this Fibonacci retracement levels, and I'm looking at .292 or .274, maybe even 255. Let's see how far it goes down. If it keeps continuing down, we're not getting any big red candles, so I'm not really 100% sure what's going on. We might even have to wait for another couple bounces to maybe form a better pattern, maybe something. I'm not really sure. We're gonna have to wait, but it looks like it's kind of going somewhat sideways. We actually have resistance right here, resistance all right here. So we basically have this downtrend right here. That's basically what I'm looking at, is this downtrend starting from here, going like this, and then basically until we break this trend line, if we drag this farther, until we break this trend line going to the upside or even further down, I don't know where it's going to break out, that's where I'll be looking for a trend change. Basically, right now we broke the trend on the 4-hour, or at least, I mean, we got the red candle, closed on it, got another 4-hour, and I'm not sure if we're going to get a bounce up or if we're going to keep heading down. We can kind of see what this next 4-hour candle does, and by the time you see this video, you might already know if it's already kind of breaking to the downside or if it's caught support and headed up. But it looks like it broke the trend line right now, so I'm kind of thinking of looking back at these levels here. I still have my limit order set up from when I took profits before, so yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, let's see if these ones can come down and get filled, or if it gets support and holds up. But there's a couple things that I'm also looking at that might, I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. So we're looking at Dogecoin to Bitcoin, and pretty much the same thing. We had a uptrend going like this, and then I was saying it until we break this trend line going to the upside, until the downside, then I'm assuming that we're going down. In my last video, we were kind of going sideways. We broke down, but we were kind of going sideways. This looks a little more to the downside, honestly. It looks like a more slow downturn. So maybe this signal of breaking this line going to the downside was like right. I mean, we were definitely below this line right there. So let's look at that. I mean, we could even argue something like this. Maybe there was support right here. That there was support right here. So we broke that line at least. I mean, it's a little more clear that Bitcoin's doing better than Dogecoin right now. But yeah, that's until we break this trend line right here. So basically, we were watching this trend line over here, and until we broke that one, then that was the signal that Dogecoin was going to get bullish. Basically the same thing here. If we'll watch this trend line here until we break. Once we break this, then we'll be like, oh, okay, that's what we were looking for. Cool. Now things should start looking a little bit better for Dogecoin. We got support right here and support right here, though. I'm wondering if I just saw this. I'm wondering if we're gonna do some sort of trend line, something like this, and hold support right here, or if we're gonna break to the downside. That would probably be a target. It'd be a pattern. So we'd either be trending down still. Maybe we'd come back down here to these levels, find support right there, or I don't know. That's what it's. I mean, we're going in a downtrend right now, so that's kind of what I'm thinking. But we're going to have to wait and see if this holds support. It might, because it did it right here and right here. We'd have to see the volume too. So let's see. We have declining volume, and we're waiting for a breakout in the volume. Let's see if it's a green candle or a red candle down here on the volume when we start getting candles. And yeah, we'll see what it does. But let's take a look at Ethereum to Dogecoin, or Dogecoin to Ethereum, should I say. This one looks actually interesting. But it's kind of the same thing that Bitcoin is doing. This is what Bitcoin is doing. Dogecoin to Bitcoin was doing yesterday. We had an uptrend, and then we broke that uptrend going to the downside. But then it was kind of just going sideways, or it was like it like broke this downtrend going to the upside, but we were still underneath this bigger uptrend. So maybe same thing with Dogecoin to Ethereum as Dogecoin to Bitcoin. We're basically watching this trend line right here. It looks like it's breaking to the upside right now, but it looks kind of confusing in general, so I'm not sure about this. We're gonna have to keep our eye on this and see if it can give us any clues. Maybe, like I was saying right here, there's kind of like a bottom support something like this, something like Dogecoin, kind of. So I think we're gonna have to watch that. Maybe we're getting a breakout to the upside right now. I don't really see a lot of volume coming in, really, but same here, declining volume. Let's see if we get any green candles right here. There you go. Okay, so let's take a look at a few more other things. Let's take a look at the total crypto market cap. And this is pretty much what I woke up to this morning. I was kind of worried. I wasn't sure. Well, not worried, just because some coins move harder than others. And yeah, I was basically watching on the crypto market cap. Let's do a quick recap, even though you guys probably already know what's going on. We had a upwards channel, a ascending channel, and then I was basically watching that until we break to the bottom side. That I'm not really worried. But if we go to the hourly time frame, we had, or like when we zoom in a little bit, you can see we had this uptrend going like this. We broke that trend, we're going right there, and we were going sideways pretty much. I wasn't sure if we were showing weakness or if it was just consolidation to the next upswing, but it looks like we're kind of breaking down. It looks like we're in a downtrend again. If we go into like a smaller time frame, like the 5 minute, I guess we could see it a little bit more clearly. But see, like, but the 5 minutes not really significant, so it might just be down here for short term. We're gonna have to wait and see. But we are kind of breaking that trend line, going to the downside. I'm thinking that we might come down and retest this trend line down here and then start moving up, or just kind of trend down a little bit, or sideways, like more sideways than like a straight crash down. But that's just what I'm thinking. I'm basically thinking that we might be going sideways for a little bit until we hit this trend line. Either that or get a dip down and to retest it. Basically on the hourly time frame, we have a downtrend going something like this right now until we break this on the hourly. I mean, it's a smaller time frame, so I think maybe even just looking at, I still think this bigger picture is in general still looking good. So maybe that's the general takeaway from this, is in general we're still looking good until we break this trend line. I'm not really worried, but I figure that there is going to be price and fluctuation in this areas, so you might want to be careful on shorting too. So if we go to the Dogecoin dominance chart, we had a uptrend going something like this. We broke that going to the downside. So now I'm watching this triangle pattern, something like this. We had resistance right here and support right here, pretty much the same as Bitcoin. So, and it looks like we're breaking to the downside of that. So, I mean, not hardcore, but it looks like we're still trending down. We haven't started to trend up at all, really. So let's see. This basically doesn't really look too good for Doge. We might be looking at a little slowdown or cool off. So if we go back to Dogecoin, that's why I'm kind of looking at these Fibonacci levels again. It's possible that I'm getting faked out, but that's kind of what I'm watching until we start breaking like this uptrend or downtrend, something like that. At least getting that sign of support and reversal, kind of. Then I'm assuming that we're in this little downtrend right here. But let's see how long this lasts. I'm not sure. I'm not so sure about it. I feel like things are trying to like fake people out right now. So let me know what you guys think. If you guys like that video, hit that thumbs up and check out my Patreon if you want to get some custom videos.